Hello, and welcome to the Wild Wild West podcast. My name is Richie Ritchie, and I am almost not sick, and that is important. Over this way here is DZ representing his Los Angeles Chargers. Down below, we have Navan repping the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, that is. And of course, as if the orange wasn't a dead giveaway, I am repping the Broncos here on the show. So we got a lot to talk about, lots of news. Obviously, let's just call a duck a duck. 80% of you are here to talk about the Maxx Crosby trade, no trade thing. We will get into that, and trust me, we all have our opinions on the situation. However, we are going to throw over to DZ to talk about his Los Angeles Chargers first in terms of free agency. Lots of news, lots of changes. By and large, the Chargers kind of did what I was hoping the Broncos were going to do, DZ, and I'll leave it there. So let's see what you got.
Yeah. First, since we have like one team not represented, it's not much to talk about, but I'll just throw out the 5 guys that they brought in. That's the Kansas City Chiefs, just for people's knowledge in here. They did sign
Don't do it.
No, you don't want me to do it?
No, it's rubbing salt in the wound. But yes, go ahead.
Okay. So they have made 5 additions. They did bring in the Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker. That sucks for all of us because we know what Andy Reid can do with a good running back. They brought over Alohi Gilman, who the Chargers traded to the Ravens. They brought him over. Safety. They got a pretty good defensive lineman from the Patriots. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. It's Kai Iris Tonga. They brought back douchebag Travis Kelce. Surprising, whatever. He'll be a Hall of Famer, whatever. And then they re-signed Tyquan Thornton. So that's all I'm going over with the Chiefs. But yeah, the Kenneth Walker stuff, that sucks. Wish him the worst. Chargers, wow. Yeah, man. We went in this free agency with, competing with the Raiders in cap space. It was like this back and forth with, I think it's like the Titans and Chargers and Raiders. And, it was super obvious from the Chargers fan base wise. And actually some Raiders and Broncos are actually on X that are getting reshared by Chargers fans going, Justin should ask for a trade, yada, yada, yada. It's kind of funny. But it was obvious, like, what the needs were for this team. You are going to improve the offensive line. It was completely obvious, like, hey, this is your job. And at the beginning of free agency, it kind of looked like that was happening. I'll just go over, and it's not in order of who they brought in, but I'll go over, like, where it started to get sour. But they did bring back Khalil Mack on a 1-year, $18 million deal, which when they did sign him to that, I was like, wow, man, that's kind of a lot for a dude who only got 5.5 sacks last season. Mind you guys, he did miss 4 games. But then I saw what some other edge rushers are getting, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a deal, And then a guy they brought in that wasn't on my radar at all. This whole offseason, everybody's been talking about Linderbaum, and now we'll get into him, but we were talking about Linderbaum and McGovern. And, the Chargers needed an upgrade at center big time, badly. Bradley Bozeman did the organization a favor and retired, because I honestly believe if he didn't retire, he'd be starting, which is just the very definition of insanity. And it just so happened that the Commanders released Tyler Biotish, who was not on my radar at all. And before you knew it, the Chargers had him on a plane, brought him over, and they signed him to a 3-year, $30 million deal, which, looking at it with what everybody else got, was an absolute steal. And everything I know about this guy, what everybody's talking about, He's a damn good center. He's got like one weakness, and it's pass block, which seems to be a common thread for zone blocking centers. Okay, cool. I'm glad there's a Chiefs fan in here.
Yeah, Zigzag probably he shows up normally about 10 minutes into the show too. He's a Chiefs fan as well. But
Red Kingdom, nice, dude. Awesome. Glad to have you, bro.
Ryan, subscribe to the show. We are also in search rather for a a Chiefs fan to join us live every Wednesday. And on top of that, we did just list off your free agent signings at the very onset of the show. Feel free to leave a comment and we'll bring it up and talk about it. Thank you for joining, though.
Yeah, man, but we don't bow to anybody. So yeah, Tyler Biotish, he's a zone blocking center. He was like ranked, I think, 11th or 12th last season. He was a Pro Bowler, I think, when he was with the Cowboys. Then he played pretty well against for the Commanders. I think he was released for like a cap savings. They needed some cap money, and it's obvious. I don't know if you guys are paying attention what other teams are doing. Commanders have loaded up this free agency. And then, you know, I don't know if we want to just go through everything or we'll just jump around, you know, with each other. They brought over a couple guys that had connections. They brought over, well, not really connections. They brought over Alec Ingold, old Raider. He was the fullback for the Raiders and then Miami. And that was kind of like, people are like, okay, yeah, I saw the writing on the wall on that one, you know. So that kind of kills the Matlock experience, the D-tackle experiment in LA as a fullback, which I think the Chargers fan base is pretty happy about. Because Alec Ingold, you know, I was watching him when he was with the Raiders. He was a very traditional fullback. And then when he got to Miami, he was still traditional fullback, but they had him doing a lot of misdirection. And actually, Tua was throwing kind of deep to him, which was surprising. Derek Carr did a little bit, but it didn't seem as much as Tua was doing with him. And then another guy that had connection that he was actually on my radar because the Chargers also needed to address their tight end room was they signed Charlie Kolar, or Kolar, however you say his name. He seems he seems like a funny guy on X and Instagram. Kind of underrated. We needed a Y tight end, and they got him for a 3-year, $24.3 million. And you know, he played behind Likely and Andrews, two really good tight ends, and he got a lot of playing time, especially when Andrews went down with health injury stuff, and I think it was diabetic stuff. I'm not sure, but I'm happy to have him over big time because they cut Will Dissly, not bringing him back, and he was one of the better blocking guys. And then while this is going on, it's all fine and well getting these guys, but at the same time, Chargers fans are watching top guards just get plucked left and right throughout free agency. Just bing, bing, bing. And then we lose Zion Johnson to the Browns. And he signs, I don't have the contract details, but he signs a huge contract, goes to the Browns. Good for him. Looks like the Browns are actually building a team, which is surprising. So we lost Zion. So we're like, okay, we have no guards. What are we going to do? We got two tackles. Well, we don't know Slater's thing. And then, oh, wow. $5. $5 holla.
I'm cheap. Good.
$5 make you holla, boy. Yeah, so, and then they do something that really like just kind of set the fan base into a spiral. They brought over another guy that Mike McDaniel's connected with, and that's Cole Strange, who was their guard on a 2-year, $13 million deal. And at the first, when I noticed, I was like, this guy's name sounds familiar. And I'm like, so I did a quick thing. I'm like, oh, it doesn't seem that bad. Then you start digging into it and you're like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, like this guy, dude, this guy's just as bad as Mekhi Becton. I mean, yes, he's a scheme fit. And then there's two sides of the coin about him. He was a first-round pick. There's a funny clip about him. He was a first-round pick by the Patriots. I think he was like the 28th pick, but there's a funny clip of Sean McVay. And what's their GM's name? I forgot. He's a really good GM for the Rams. I don't know.
The original
You're
one.
on mute, Nav. Yeah, flavor saver, baby.
Like
Les Snead.
Snead,
Oh,
there you
Les
go.
Snead.
There's a funny clip of them when Cole Strange got drafted. They look like they were a little like tanked or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, Cole Strange just went. And you guys got to look it up. They're like, we had him pegged in the 4th. So it's pretty much like the Patriots just like dropped the ball. They drafted this dude in the 1st round when he was not a 1st-round guy. He actually played really good his rookie year and then had 2 back-to-back injury-riddled years. And I think he tore his patellar tendon like Slater did. And so last year he started 14 games and not the best stats, but he is a willing dude. Like there's clips of him going toe-to-toe with Vita Vea from the Bucks. But so I think they're trying to bank on this dude like 2 years removed from that injury, being a scheme fit. We'll see. But this is sending the fan base online into an effing panic because boom, like you're seeing all these top guys just getting going. And, they kept telling us in this, as the season ended, we got to upgrade the offensive line, yada, yada, all this BS. And what they've done so far has not shown us that outside of Tyler Biadasz at center, which I think the fan base is pretty happy about. I think everybody really wanted Linderbaum or McGovern, but I guess this Biadasz guy is a better fit than McGovern would have been. I'll run through some of these guys. They brought in they brought back Kimani Vidal. They did that exclusive rights tender, that same thing they did with J.K. Dobbins, which is kind of weird. They brought back Jarrett Patterson, another running back. And then they brought back 2 guys that they benched because of poor offensive line play. They ran it back. They brought back Trey Pipkins and Trevor Penning. Yeah. And I mean, Trevor Penning's a fine 6th lineman, spec for jumbo packages. But right now, they don't have a left guard. And so now, I go through all the players that they've signed. I've looked at throughout the offensive line room, and you are now forced to go into the draft and grab a guard and grab an edge. You're forced to do that essentially because instead of going into the draft and drafting best player available, you're now drafting at a necessity, which is what you never want to do because you use free agency to fill, But now we've got this Ravens BS in LA, which I was on board at first with, and now they're treating this team like it's the Salvation Army. This is like the Goodwill. Everybody's getting these BS contracts. They're afraid to swing for big players. I mean, we lost Odafe Owe, who we traded for, to the Commanders. I think he signed a huge deal. He's like $100 million deal. Lost Zion Johnson, like I mentioned earlier. We lost St. Juice, cornerback, who the Commanders were telling us was absolute garbage. He was really good for us. I think he went to the Packers. And then we lost our nose tackle, Tito Bonia, which I'm not really too worried about him. He never lived up to his draft thing. But that being said, we brought back, our long snapper, whatever, Dean Leonard, our gunner. We brought back Delshon Phillips, our special teams ace. So now you look around what's left in free agency, and there's really not anybody worth a damn. If you look throughout free agency, what you're like, especially trench wise, sure, there's a few D tackles. I guess it depends, but offense. I'm just talking O-line or edge. Like the price, it looks like everybody has overpaid for everybody in this free agency almost, and we've got players like there's a fan favorite, Tony Jefferson, our safety. He's on X saying like they wouldn't even offer him guaranteed money, like, and it's just this cheapness with this front office in LA is just it's wearing on the Chargers, especially going into year 3 under this Harbaugh regime. It's like they're running it back with the same guys. I mean, they're banking on McDaniel's offensive scheme to turn this team around, which rightfully so, rightfully no, but you only have 5 picks in the draft. Now, the Chargers still have the second most cap right now. And people are like, what are you doing? What are you sitting on? It's $63,500,000 and yada, yada, right? Still got a lot of money to play with. And you usually go into the season with what? You want to go into the season with what, 15 to 20 mil? You got to save money for. So I don't know, man. It's we actually had an ex-Charger player in one of our streams or one of our spaces. I think it was last night or yesterday. He played with the Steelers as well, and he pretty much said the front office for the Chargers is inept, essentially. And we're like, we can see it. You know, we're seeing with who they're doing, and I don't know. You're seeing what other teams are doing. They're not afraid to spend. They're not afraid to go after getting proven talent. And it's just like a reclamation project in LA. And yeah, but so far, not so good. I don't know. If this show was on yesterday or the day before, I would have been dropping a lot more F-bombs. Or 18 minutes in, we could say we could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not too stoked, man. It's there's some players that made sense, and then it's just like, why were you grabbing depth guys first? Like that was your priority, depth dudes. But then you're letting all these big time guys that would come over and help your offensive line. Oh, I'm going to the Ravens game too. I'm gonna Chargers play in Baltimore this year. I'm going to that game.
I hope you're yelling. You're yelling. Kill that quarterback, Max. Kill him.
Well, no, I'm going to the Chargers versus Ravens in Baltimore, and I don't like the Ravens. I never have.
Oh. I thought you were talking about next year because that's when the Ravens and Raiders will play.
When I was a little kid, I actually rooted for. I've always been a Chargers fan, but I also rooted for the Redskins. It's so funny that Geno ended up back at the Jets, man.
Oh. Hated being in one of the most storied franchises in NFL history. Hated it, and then went to the team that screwed him up to begin with. Yeah. It's crazy,
dude. They screwed up Sam Darnold, and he just won a Super Bowl.
I know.
Yep.
Like, wow. The Jets is a place where you go to die. It's like the Browns for quarterback as well.
Downs, that is the one. You just. I think you took my F-bombs away with that. You just made me laugh, and I've not had anything to laugh about for a minute. But that was – I mean, can you put that back up there? Can I actually read that? Breaking news. Geno passed his physical. Jets were fine with cranial rectal inversion syndrome. Holy cow, dude.
Those are some terms. Inversion syndrome,
cranial rectal inversion syndrome. So basically his bottom half went to his top half, and they're okay with it, which because they're the Jets, they are okay with it. It's layman's terms. Ardell says layman's terms means you just head up his ass.
There we go. That makes sense.
There you
go. Yeah, man. So not the free agency I envisioned, especially under year 3, going into year 3 with all that money. Totally thought they would have went a little harder in the paint, and guess not. I mean, look, like I said, and we'll kick it over to another team. There is still hope. There is a lot of rumors. Like, here's something else that happened is apparently the Chargers offered Alec Pierce, I think, more money than what he got with the Colts, and he chose to go back to the Colts. Now, what comes into? Are you saying that you felt more comfortable with the Colts? That's fine. You didn't want to play in LA. You didn't want to deal with the taxes. You not want to play with under Jim Harbaugh. Now, there's a lot of crazy theories that are being floated around that are we losing out on prospects due to California taxes, cheap contracts, or Jim Harbaugh did get that C+ grade last year. Are there some players like, hey, I don't want to play for this coach, or who knows? I think there was 2 players. I think it was Alec Pierce. There was another wide receiver supposedly they offered money for, and but we'll never really know. And then some of these guards, what's that Steelers guard? Simaluo? I can't remember. He was a Steelers free agent guard. The Chargers didn't even offer him, and he signed, I think, for like dirt cheap, and he would have been a perfect fit. And we know that because of the ex-Charger player who was in our stream, Brandon Fiocco. Why would Philip? Why would he play Stewart?
Just out of nowhere.
I mean, look,
bombs.
With this O-line that they've assembled, Justin Herbert's so effing in love right now with Madison Beer that he's so puppy dog in love that he might just Andrew Luck the thing and just be like, F it, I'm out. I'm going back to my farm in fucking Oregon and gonna raise my pigs. I wouldn't blame him.
Let me write that down.
We're 23 in, so
no. I'm just saying I'm allowed 1 now.
All right.
So I'm just gonna make marks just in case.
He's had like I think 3 surgeries now. This is going into 3 years with this O-line. Now look, I'm going to talk about the O-line for a second, real quick. This is like what's talking me off the wall, or talking me back off the cliff, or whatever that saying is. Under this Mike McDaniel scheme, which is from Shanahan, Kyle, maybe his dad, they don't value guards. Guards are not a priority. It's the tackles. They always want an elite left tackle, and then they fill out from there. Because when Mike McDaniel does is he pulls his tackles. His tackles, you know how like most teams, it's your guards are pulling, and then your tackles sit back and play patty cake. This one it's kind of opposite. It's the tackles are the guys who are pulling out, and then the guards go up with the centers for combo blocks. So there could be a reasoning behind this, but you're still pigeonholed yourself in the draft. And look, there are some really good guards that you can get first round, second round, and I've heard even third round. So who knows? But yeah. Other than that, we don't know. There's rumors that QJ could still be traded, which I wouldn't mind if they could get something for the guy. You got the money, figure it out. Is there a trade in the works? I heard the Eagles want to trade A.J. Brown. I don't know how they can get off that contract. Jalen Carter, I heard, has been floated around as a possible trade guy. Waddle in Miami is another rumor floating around that he could be on the, be a traded asset. Who's to know? But, it's not like you have much capital to play around with. Like that's something I could see the Raiders doing. I could see with their capital, even still, trying to fill out that roster. They could probably they see somebody out there, they can make a trade happen, or possibly just move around in the draft. But that's the news that I know right now. The fan base really wants. I mean, if you could see my hashtag Fire Ortiz, they're ready to kill this guy. I mean, people are saying if Justin goes to another team, we're done with this team. So we'll see. The honeymoon's over with the Harbaugh regime. It's over, dude. It lasted 2 seasons. It's done. The fan base for the most part wants blood right now, rightfully so.
I think that in fairness, you did about 2 or 3 signings that were exactly what your team needed.
Yeah, that's 2 or 3. That's what I was thinking.
And then the rest we'll wait and see. And I think that's totally fair.
The rest were, Richie, not a effing priority. What you are making the whole, okay, I take that back a little bit. The GM pretty much told the fan base, like, hey, we're going to make it a priority to bring back our guys. So I kind of screwed myself on that. But what you brought back were depth dudes, right? Like you would think once that tampering period or whatever it was, like 2 days ago, whatever you technically call it, you're like, we're going after the big fish. We're going to land ourselves some big fish. We got the money to do it. We can bring in some proven quality effing talent. And they don't. They don't do it. They don't. I mean, outside of Biotish. And
effing. I like effing. Effing, you can say effing and it doesn't get you in trouble.
Effing.
I
think it's spelled EFFIN.
Yeah. I like your tight end. I like the tight end that you signed.
Sure. Yeah, sure. We still need 2 more. There's still need 3 more. Do you guys know anybody who ever goes, frick? Frick.
Yeah. Philip Rivers.
Yeah, he did use. Yeah.
Dag Nabbit.
That Nabbit.
That was great. That dude's a bomb.
Yeah, I mean,
it was hard to dislike that guy. I'm telling you right now, it was very hard to dislike.
He was hated, but then after he's like, people will look back and they're probably like, all right, dude, the guy was. It was probably fun watching him play. But Rich, you're right. I mean, they made some moves that made sense. There's some decent ones, but for the most part, I feel like they're man, I don't know, man. They're batting under 500 right now or something. It's not. I'm not stoked, dude, at all. Like there's some other teams I'm just like, wow, good job. Hats off. Like you guys are doing a really good job.
I think there needs to be balance in free agency. And I think that the teams that go all into free agency and people like, oh my gosh, you won free agency because you signed like every big contract name possible. Most of those teams, looking back 2 years into it, end up in cap hell, and it's like real bad or real quick.
2 sides of that coin. You are so right. You are righter than right. But guess what? 2 of the biggest spenders last season. 2 of the biggest off-season spenders. Where were they last year?
Patriots and the Seahawks.
They were in the Super Bowl. And the Patriots are spending again.
Yes,
where they get this?
But and this is kind of a big one. Both of those teams were almost exclusively built of young rookies. And then so when they went out and spent big in free agency, they got a bunch of their veterans on those big contracts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
They got those guys to bolster like dudes that were just like, pushing a stroller, basically. They were so young on their roster. And so they needed the yin and the yang, right? Even the Seahawks, like the bulk of their defense, with the exception of 1 or 2 guys now that are coming up to that first big contract kind of thing. Most of their team, like a good percentage, are on rookie deals, and they've just hit on all the draft picks.
I'll tell you this: I don't know what the Seahawks are doing. They have lost a lot of guys that helped get them to the Super Bowl. Now, the Patriots wise, they were just pure lucky last year, but they were still a decent team. We saw that in the playoffs. And now they're like, okay, we're gonna play in the free agency, and so they're making their team even better because they know they're gonna have a tougher schedule going forward, or strength of schedule. But yeah, what do you think of the Broncos defense? I'm a Broncos fan. Okay.
Can you put that comment up there, that last comment from David Zahn?
Let's talk about this one here first, and I'll bring it up. That's funny. So this is a reasonable transition. A reasonable transition. Broncos defense actually got worse.
Yeah.
It did. And this is objective truth.
Is it because of the D tackle?
We lost John Franklin Myers. We brought back Justin Strnad, brought back Alex Singleton. We brought back Dondre Tillman, who was actually a good signing for us, so I'm not even upset about that. And we brought back Jordan Jackson, who is at best a maybe to make the roster in terms of what's going on. So overall, the Broncos got worse on defense because we did not bring in a D tackle or a nose tackle who can get pressure on the quarterback. We did not bring in a replacement in the defensive line market that can replace John Franklin Myers. And let's be real, JFM had himself 2 seasons with us that were like pretty spectacular. Okay.
Pretty
good. Yeah. And so like, you can't just sit there and say, oh, well, we'll figure it out. That is a guy that showed that he deserved to get consideration for the money that he got.
Do we know what he got and where he went? I know he left somewhere. What was it?
Yeah, he was 4 for 63, I think.
Do we know where'd he go? Do you know off the top
Tennessee
of your head?
Titans.
Yeah.
Wow, Tennessee got a good one.
Titans swung big time too.
Yeah, they did. Wow.
Yeah. It works out to like 21 and change a year or so. Like his deal works out to like 21 and a half a year in terms of salary.
Okay.
But again, the dude has like multi-sacks a year. He's getting quarterback pressures.
Dude.
He's stopping the run. Like he was a like legit player.
Interior pass rusher, man. Like he was he's your what's that term I'm going for? But he's like your overall like D tackle. He's not just a run blocker.
No.
You know what I mean? He's got it all. He's got everything
he ticks the boxes, right? In terms of the D line interior.
Yeah. I was just surprised. I thought you guys had the money to just keep him.
We do. Except I told everyone on the show last week and on another show in Broncos country, the Broncos were banking on JFM to get the big dollars, and they want the comp pick.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, that brings me to my Denver Broncos and the absolute nonsense that we pulled this free agency. So I'm not going to lie. There's a few guys here that I like that we brought back, but I hate the contracts that we brought them back on. So J.K. Dobbins, 2 years, $20 million. Now $8 million is fully guaranteed. So that's actually like not awful per se, But when you look at how that's going to be broken down, you're basically talking 10 mil a year for 2 years, right?
Right.
And that's problematic. Then you have Alex Singleton. Love the player. Think he plays very well for the team. He is definitely kind of like a coach on the field and like a stabilizing presence in the linebacker
I didn't
room.
hate his contract, but go ahead.
I didn't like his contract.
Yeah,
And the reason I didn't like his contract is he's coming off his injury or surgery. He had an injury last year.
Are you talking about his testicular surgery?
Yeah. Which is, you're losing some testosterone there, and that's not great for a football player. And then he's like 33, 34 years old, something in that range.
Yeah.
So he's kind of getting to an age where 2 years will put him at like 36.
You got to think that second year is where they can pull the carpet from him. You know what I mean? Pull the rug out. Like they've got to. So it's probably a 1-year deal, and if his play dips, they're probably like, see ya.
And then there's Justin Strnad. There is a ton of analysts in Broncos country that love that guy. I just don't see it.
I know you're not a fan.
The problem I have with Justin Strnad is that he's sort of full of himself when you hear him interviewed. And this play on the field didn't really match the interview that you see off the field. If that kind of makes sense. And then in addition to that, he struggles, and I mean legit struggles in the run. And
he's more coverage guy, is what you're saying?
He's a faster twitch style linebacker. He's got some mobility to him. He's great on special teams. I will absolutely give him that. The dude is a special teams ace. But at the end of the day, when you pay a dude $19 million on a 3-year deal, you intend to keep him for a while, that sort of thing. You got to do better against the run. You're a linebacker. That's kind of your deal. And
maybe they're banking on something with him, Richie.
Look, he's the one dude that I am like hoping I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Like I would actually, if at the end of next year he like completely proves everything I just said wrong, I'm like, that is amazing. I couldn't be happier that I was so mistaken. But the problem is he's been on the team for since a rookie, basically, and hasn't proven me wrong yet. So that's a problem. And then we brought back, and this is the one that there's a few 4-letter words. Adam Troutman brought back at the tight end position, one of the areas of need for my Denver Broncos, on a 3-year, $17 million contract with $9.5 million guaranteed, with a maximum value with some escalators of $18.5 million.
Dude, 3-year, what? That's the weirdest freaking contract money wise, like time wise and money. That's like a 1-year or 2-year deal at most.
Yeah.
And you would think, I don't think you guys are out of it yet because there's still tight ends left. There's some really good tight ends left. So I think Broncos country should be like fingers crossed, hoping that they're still trying to bring somebody over.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Today it was just announced that the Denver Broncos re-signed Lucas Krull, tight end.
Oh,
Last year, he was hurt for the entire year except for 2 games. I think his total production last year was like 3 catches for 10 yards.
So he's just that blocking. He's just your extra guy, your extra lineman.
Except he's not even a great blocker. His whole shtick was that he had the upside of being a pass-catching tight end that could have some blocking upside. He turned out to be a crappy blocking tight end that couldn't actually catch the ball all that well. And yet we brought him back. And that was really the problem. Like that, like the Lucas Kroll and Troutman at tight end position was really like the thing that I think drove it home really for most Broncos fans, which was like, what are you doing? Like actually, what are you doing? Because it's not like Troutman's a good player, but he's not great. Kroll is not a great player.
Right.
Were they special teamers at all? That's another thing you got to ask.
Yeah, I think Troutman is a special teams guy.
Not Kroll or whatever you say, whatever his name is.
Kroll has been, but he's not someone that I'd be like.
Usually, Richie, when I like go like what WTF, and then you look into him and you're like, oh, that's like I said WTF on one guy, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I go, oh yeah, he's a really good special teamer. So I go, okay, there you go.
And then we brought back Palcho. Which honestly was actually, I think, one of my like low key one of my favorite signings that we brought back in the offseason here.
He would have got snatched up.
He is one hell of a football player.
Yeah.
He stepped in and can play. He can step in and play every position across the offensive line and has at a starting caliber role, I might add. And Broncos country doesn't realize or remember, I don't think, he stepped in for McGlinchey and we got better in the run game. And McGlinchey's known as a run blocking right tackle, right? Like that's been his shtick.
Right.
And Palcho was a better run blocker than McGlinchey was. So I think Palcho is being brought back to kind of prove it. And I think it'll be a really interesting thing. I'd like to see if he can continue to progress the way he has. I'd like to bring him back on like a 3-year proper extension sort of thing. And then we brought back Sam Ellinger on a 1-year deal. His terms have not been disclosed.
QB, right?
QB, which brings me to my expectation is either draft day or come free agent. I actually think that Stidham's going to be traded. I think there's going to be a team that's going to need a starting caliber quarterback. And I think that
Richie, you're seeing these goofballs going all around the league right now. And when I say goofballs, I'm like cast-offs, backups.
Yeah, and Stidham is not a trash quarterback. He's got
he's
upside.
Just like he's a tier down. He's like tier down guy, right?
Yeah. He's in like the second or third tier down.
Yeah.
But he's like 2 tiers above all the yahoos that you're seeing getting signed now.
I mean, look, Kyler Murray, I think, is Minnesota or whatever the hell it is, and you've got Tua going to the Falcons, and it's just quarterback play in the NFL is such dog shit right now.
Yeah.
There's no development.
No.
People are like, I don't know. Unless you have Matt Stafford, like, in my opinion, like, the rest are trash.
And then Nate Atkins is that tight end that I actually like a lot. He was an unpopular signing with a lot of Broncos country.
Wait a second. So you just filled your whole tight end room back? Like, oh, wow. Yeah, never mind then. Like,
So,
no.
We had one of the worst producing tight ends in the NFL in the 2025 season. And the Broncos front office said, do you know what's a good idea? Sign them all.
Yeah, what the hell, dude? Like, let's just
Hey, Bourbon, what you just said, I'm gonna get to that, dude, because that there's yeah, I'll get to that. Bourbon, what you just said there.
I mean, Richie, just for your team real quick before we get to Nav, man. I mean, you got Njoku, Jonnu Smith, Zach Ertz. Why am I not seeing Goddard? Did somebody just sign Goddard? Did Goddard just get signed?
Oh man, really?
He was on top of this list just like before our show kicked off. I mean, there's still some guys. I mean, then it gets to really shitty guys, but like I said, there's still some guys at the top that would.
Spotrac doesn't have it listed yet, but I mean,
So, I just want to go back to cover off. I don't. Goddard hasn't been signed. I haven't seen him anywhere.
Dude,
Um,
I was just on this earlier today, and yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on.
yeah, and I just want to quickly go over a couple of the ERFA guys because these are guys that I'm more excited about for my team. Devin Key is a safety that is a special teams ace for us. He also rotated in with the team at the start in some of the starting roles as the season went on. I think he's going to be a good developmental player for our team, and I think you're going to see a little bit more of him. And he was brought back on a $1 million deal as part of a tender, which is a steal as far as I'm concerned for a guy that is like your number one gunner on special teams and playing within the rotation. Like that's just a no-brainer. Another guy that is or was a no-brainer to bring back was DeAndre Tillman. He had like 6 sacks or something last year at the outside linebacker position for my team, or 5 sacks, something like that. He is like real good. And again, bringing him back at like $1 million a year.
Yeah.
So like 6 sacks for $1 million compared to some of these other contracts that you're seeing in the NFL, that's
I mean,
like
what did
that's
what's
highway that's highway robbery at that
it
point.
is highway what did the contract that really like got my attention was the Texans contract for what's his name, their edge, really good. I think Danielle Hunter.
Yeah.
No, was it him? One of their edges got a 1-year $40 million deal.
Danielle Hunter from the Texans.
Yeah, so it was Danielle Hunter. I was just like, wow. Wow.
So I think that was done because they're intending on like just making sure he's there. Just
right.
Let's do that, and we're going to guarantee it. But we want to extend it further. We just need to do that right now before somebody starts like throwing their hands in the pot.
Okay,
I think
that
that
makes
was
sense.
kind of the deal.
That is just so much for 1 year. That's great. That's QB money almost. I mean,
yeah, but I'm pretty sure they'll just kind of go, okay, so here's what we're going to do is restructure it. We're going to make it a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And go that way.
That makes sense.
But just a few other quick things on this. We did not address the running back position in any meaningful way with a new running back that was available in free agency. We did not address the tight end position that desperately needs a little extra in the room, like I've been talking about. We did not address the defensive line, which not only did we not actually add to the room, we lost guys from the room in free agency. And just overall, I actually think that some of the signings were good. Like, I like Singleton being brought back. I just don't like the deal he was brought back on. I like J.K. Dobbins being brought back. I just don't like the $10 million a year thing given his injury history.
Richie, did you see J.K. clap back at Broncos fan?
Oh, yeah.
No, that was Troutman, right?
No, J.K. Dobbins pretty much said, go be a fan of another team because it was a Michael who's big on X. He's a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
Pretty much he was like saying something about JK, and JK pretty much said like, you know, F you, go be a fan of another team. You know, that my injury year was a fluke. But then it's not been a fluke. He's been injured like every damn year. But it's pretty funny to see. I'm liking that players are becoming more active and clapping back at fans. I think it's great.
Yeah, well, I mean, my clap back to JK is to say you've literally been injured every single year you've been in the league. So you can take your comment, shove it up your ass.
I was extremely surprised by the Broncos, Richie, that, you know, we saw Walker go to our rivals, right? Go to KC. I was like, damn, because I had him pegged going to you.
And by the way, I want JK back on my team.
Oh, yeah,
I love him as a player. He's a fantastic locker room guy. He's a fantastic running back. But my issue is that I actually think JK is best suited as that closer in the game.
Yeah.
You know, he's the dude that you bring in as like the relief pitcher as a baseball game. Like I'm using like a baseball analogy, right?
Yeah.
You bring him in and he's the dude that can just gain steam as that end of the game goes on, and he'll get those sneaky touchdowns at the end of the game because he's
Dude,
just that damn good as a player. He is
yeah,
good as a player.
he has that like he can put that dagger at the end of the
Yes.
game. We've
Yes,
seen it
and
where he just pops a
yes,
run off and is just
yes. And look, like my whole point here is I actually really like him. I just didn't like the deal that he was brought back on because we need more running back help with a guy that can kind of be more of the bell cow, take the actual like load of carries. And JK, I just don't think is that guy.
And then when Walker went to the Chiefs, I was like, okay, now they're probably in on ETN. Then ETN goes to the Saints. I was like, what the hell? That was surprising to me. And then I was like, okay, Rico Dowdle goes somewhere else. So I'm like, Gainwell, no. So I really think that these are positions that, I mean, they're banking on RJ Harvey. I don't think tight end's out of the realm yet because usually you go into the season with 4 of them. I think you mentioned 3 in the room.
I have 4.
Okay, so you did mention 4. So that probably takes
Atkins, Troutman, and Kroll. And then we also have Caleb Lohner, who is a rookie, who is that big basketball player that we brought in the draft last year, who started to kind of show a little bit in terms of like the other areas of his position.
So, dude, that's taking you guys out of some of these mocks. People have had Sadiq or Stowers going to the Broncos. That's kind of, unless they bring in a 5th and just play around that way.
The only thing is I don't have the details rather of the Krull deal. If his deal is non-guaranteed at all, he could just be the sacrificial lamb of saying we have a 4th tight end or whatever, but we're just kind of, you're there. But either way, a whole lot of like interesting guys like Palcho, I thought was important. Adkins, I really like. I thought both of those guys are really important return guys. I think Ellinger, having him back on a 1-year deal, brings like a quarterback coach and a backup quarterback back to the team. I think it also allows you to then trade away Stidham for draft picks, which I want to do, by the way, as a Broncos fan. And then we brought back those other key guys like Donde Tillman, for example, and Devin Key. Strnad, I can kind of take it or leave it. I wasn't a huge fan, but it is what it is. I just thought that we could have done better with the money that we spent at certain positions because the Broncos needed help on the interior of the defensive line, running back, wide receiver. Like Bo needs offensive weapons that can get separation from the defense of the opposing team. And we just didn't bring anyone in that moves that needle at all. And that's a problem. Like that is a big time problem.
Yeah, I'm surprised about the running back and tight end thing. The wide receiver, I'm not as surprised because you guys have you have a big room. I know the fan base doesn't probably view Sutton as a number 1, especially with his age. But the tight end and running back, I was like, for sure, the Broncos are gonna be, heavy into free agency with that. And frankly, they weren't. Maybe they're just not buying these prices. Like I said, cap went up. Some of these contracts are kind of ridiculous at what people are getting. So you guys might have a really smart front office, or I don't know. You definitely have the money to swing around if you need be with that Walmart money. And what's his name? What's the F1 racer's name that's part owner?
I don't know.
So if people don't know, there's a part owner of the Broncos is the F1 racer who is now with Ferrari, but was with Mercedes forever. Lewis Hamilton. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lewis Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a part owner of the Broncos, Richie. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, there's a couple like low tier owners of the Broncos that are just like they own like an ultra minority stake in the team.
Well, that's Brady. That's Brady too. Yeah. That's an ultra minority.
If somebody in the chat wants to do us a favor, look up how much Lewis Hamilton's worth, because he's got to be worth quite a bit of money.
Oh, God, yeah.
Jeez Louises.
He was a McLaren guy forever.
Mercedes.
Mercedes guy.
Yeah.
Well, he was McLaren first, Then we're
Estimated
saying,
over 300 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so it's not as much as I thought then.
right.
Okay. I mean, he's got side deals, but
I mean, Jerry Jones' money is different money than an athlete's money, no matter how much money an athlete made. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They athletes or professional anything in sports, their money's made after their career.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan, that dude's a billionaire. Now, he wasn't a billionaire as a player.
No.
I mean, his name, likeness, all the stuff that happened after the fact is what makes him a billionaire. And Shaq the same way. You know what I mean? He owns so many businesses and stuff like that. That's a little bit of a different thing.
Dude,
And that's
Shaquille
when
O'Neal, man. Whew.
yeah. I mean, Michael Jordan just won his
That
first
dude
NASCAR race
is
as an owner. So,
yeah.
did
But
you know that?
Shaq's a pretty cool dude. He will literally go into a store. Yes.
Yep.
Shaq will go into a store like a Walmart and will go to the cashier and literally say, here's like 20 grand. Then every kid that brings up a bike to the till is paid for.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
then
he does
walk
that.
out. And then walk out. And then walk out. Like it's insane. Like
Yes.
it's really kind of one of those, like, he doesn't quite get the accolades for doing just like a legitimately nice gesture like that. He doesn't want them per se. He's just doing it to be a genuinely nice guy. But
he's a
I do
great
think
human.
that kind of, yes, he is. He really is.
And
He really is.
He's hilarious too. He could be a comedian too, a great big comedian. You know, I mean, size wise, a huge comedian. You could probably get on the stage and talk about shit and make you laugh all night long.
We should probably kick it
Yeah.
off to the Raiders. We got fans
Yeah.
foaming at the mouth talking about
No.
wanting to get the
Wait a
Raiders.
minute. I don't understand. There was no real news about the Raiders. Like, what's the matter?
I don't know what their deal is.
I
Yeah.
don't know what they're talking about. Luckily, I've had a few beers now, and I'm calmed down. And DZ already threw one bomb, so I have one in my pocket now.
You got one in the chamber?
I have one in the chamber. So, and we're already beyond the YouTube F-bomb threshold. So I think we're good as long as everybody else is good. I'm gonna if that's the case, I'm gonna start off with the good stuff.
Let's do
The good stuff is absolutely killed it in free agency, knowing what our defense is going to look like, what the defense is supposed to be, and that type of stuff. Absolutely killed it. But first, I want to recognize all the Raider fans in here. Zahn, I know he already left and stuff. He's my boy. We flip each other shit. That's what we do. It's a thing. We're also both Navy dudes, so of course we're gonna have that. Ron Raspberry, which is Big Raz, is one of my mods on my side. So Big Raz, if you could, can you put the link to my channel down in there? And if you have the other guys in there, I think you're able to do that too on my side. Please put DZ and Richie Rich's stuff in the chat on YouTube, please. Because when I switch to YouTube, for whatever reason, I think I freeze up. I'm noticing that I freeze up when I flip to tabs.
You do.
I'm trying to figure out what that problem is. So that's why I have to use this. Because it's kind of like, why is that happening? I've asked them why.
Nav converted to the old school tab, and he went to Post-its.
That's what happens when you're about to turn 55. Oh, by the way, on Saturday.
Ooh,
Happy birthday,
early birthday, man.
And my daughter will be here on Saturday for the birthday Raiders extravaganza. So just so you guys know, on Saturday.
You guys, I got a feeling you're getting a piñata, and it's going to be a Raven piñata.
I don't know what my daughter has planned for that, but
that would be smart.
She
Somebody
said
get a hold of his daughter.
She said we need to do a show for your 55th. So is what it is. Okay. So So that being said, Hell Raider, always, dude. You're like so he's he has the pinhead thing on when you go into a game, and he's like one of the like ambassadors of the Raiders, right? So when I took my daughter to the Oakland Coliseum for their last Thursday night game, and oh, by the way, Rivers threw a pick at the end of the game for us to win it.
Classic Rivers.
And well, I mean, but it was one of those where last primetime game ever in the Oakland Coliseum. Me and my daughter are there, and all that stuff. Way cool. But Hell Raider was the first one to meet her. She was like, I didn't even know that these people existed. And then when Hell Raider gets on my show, when I first started in YouTube, I'm like, shit, dude, do you remember this? He goes, yeah, I remember that. What was her name? I can't, starts with a C, it was like SH or something like that. I'm like, yeah, Cheyenne. And then no kidding, on my show, they actually were able to meet and stuff. She thought that was very, very cool. So anyway, my daughters are not young, so they're 31 and 33. So they're at that time, my daughter was definitely able to drink legally. So let's make that clear. But Hell Raider is one of those. LA Crash Dog, he's a retired Marine, and he does a lot of stuff for what's SaberWarrior.org. SaberWarrior.org. Think about that for a moment. They take care of everything. The admin costs and all that crap are nothing. Everything goes to the veterans. So if you're thinking about what's a worthy cause, SaberWarrior.org is a great one. Gunny, I know you're a mod on here. You can put that link down in the chat. Do it all day long. Okay. Like I said, then there's Taino. He's a great dude. Kenny is a dude I chat with all the time. He's a great dude. Let's see. Go back to Bourbon. That dude's always showing up, popping off, and stuff like that. Great stuff. He knows what he's talking about. Let's see, where are we at? Who else is still in here now? Raider Paul.
I only have one problem with Bourbon.
What?
Only one. He keeps on putting this like Raiders thing in the chat. I don't know.
Oh well, look, I do kind of owe that to the nation. I owe it to the nation. And I'll tell you what, it's a one-time deal every time we do the show, and I think you guys are okay with it. I got the lungs for it, even though I'm a smoker. So here we go. Ready? Raiders! All right. So there we go. We got that out the way. All right. So I think Raiders Act. Forgot about Raiders Act. Raiders Act's in there as well. All right, so here's the good stuff. Let me tell you something. I was all over, let's get Devin Lloyd. Let's get Devin Lloyd. You know what I mean? We're talking about linebackers are going to be a huge priority. No. We got Quay Walker, Nakobe Dean. Those two are worth way more than one Devin Lloyd. I'm just saying. We got the green dot. We got the covered. We definitely got that. The only one we signed today, I think, actually, of all the free agents, as coming into the show, I haven't had being able to look into it. Taron Johnson is a signing that's huge because we needed a nickel or free safety for a long damn time.
That's the guy you guys traded for, right, Neff?
What's that?
That's the guy you guys traded for?
Yes.
Okay.
But we got him. And we didn't overspend for him either.
No.
I mean, that right there is a big deal. That free safety, especially in the 3-4, that they've come out and said that's what we're running. So, Kwity Paye, okay, it's depth on the D line, which is good because you're only going to have 3 in there, right? Genuinely.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, the sneaky one is the wide receiver Naylor.
That was my favorite pick. That was my favorite addition from you guys.
No, linebacker for me was the favorite part, but this is the sneaky one.
Well, I think linebacker is going to be great for you guys because you're going to pair those two with some young rooks, which is going to be super valuable.
And we re-signed Malcolm Kuntz, which I think would be a better pass rusher off the offensive linebacker or the outside linebacker position because he doesn't have to worry about get off. You know what I mean? He can read and react.
Yeah,
I think he's a read and react guy better than he is a get off guy.
Jalen Naylor, I was like, damn, that was a solid move.
I mean, you look at Addison and Jefferson. He's not going to be the featured dude, but he's got everything they have.
Yeah,
he's got the speed, he's got the hands, he only dropped 3 passes all year.
He's great, man. He's great. I mean,
damn.
That's a good get. Really good get.
To me, that was a good one. Okay. I'm not going to go too deep into the rest of the stuff. I mean, Matt Gay is a kicker. We freaking bounce freaking DC, the other DC.
That surprised me. Is it because DC had like a poor year last year?
In his head for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Misses critical shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, look, we're not
going to.
He was
so solid for you guys for a good amount of time, and then
he was. But it was one of those where it's like kicker's not really our concern. We just don't need to pay this fucking guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's going to command $8 million paycheck for a kicker. I mean, there's no reason to do that. So Matt Gay, I mean, he's not really proven anymore either. But shit, we could 7th round pick up somebody out of college. That's not a concern of mine. One of the biggest signings we had was keeping Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes was the only dude in the back end of that defense that was actually playing in his position and actually freaking was the cornerback 1.
And you were right about it. That was your guy that you wanted.
I was like, gotta keep that dude.
Yeah.
Got to keep him. Kuntz was a little bit weird, but once I realized that we were going to a 3-4, I thought, okay, well, Kuntz is valuable at this point. So we did him. We gave him a 1-year 11. That's just prove it to us that you can do it as an offensive line or outside linebacker and be done with it, right? Now. Before I get into the bad shit, I just want to put some numbers around.
Whoa. You didn't even get into your biggest signing.
Oh, Linderbaum, that's not even worth talking about. That was necessary and required.
I mean, that was a huge signing.
Necessary and required.
Right.
And I was going to mention that as I rolled into the bad stuff.
Okay, because he was the bell of the ball, essentially, in free agency.
No question. And I think everybody thought that Linderbaum was definitely coming there. So he's a young dude, and that's my biggest thing about everything we've done. We brought in nothing but young talent.
Yeah. Proven
young talent. That to me, if you're rebuilding, it's got to be proven young talent.
You know what I like, Nev? You guys, I was like paying attention to where the players that you guys grabbed. I was watching from what teams they were from. Like they all, for the most part, came from really good organizations.
Well, yeah, Nakobe Dean, Philly.
Yeah.
Quay Walker,
Packers.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Linderbaum from the Ravens. I know that's sour now, but I mean, you're coming from teams that are used to winning, essentially. Right. So you're bringing in a different type of mentality.
So before I went into Linderbaum, I wanted to mention something about the Chiefs, though, since we did do that, right?
Okay.
They just got rid of probably 2 of the best corners.
Oh, yeah.
In the league.
Yeah.
To the Rams. And hot take, Rams are my Super Bowl champions next year.
I mean, that's the obvious pick right now.
Because of that.
That they had no weakness other than their secondary.
Yes.
Now that team is completely filled.
I mean, was it Watson and McDuffie? I mean, for crying out loud, you got them both.
And then you just saw what Seattle did. Like, Seattle was my bet to go back-to-back until they just said, see you later to a bunch of guys.
They did. And I'll tell you what. That's why I was saying that I was going to use Linderbaum as my last thing as it goes into the bad shit.
Okay.
So Linderbaum, that happened about the same time that the Crosby trade happened. I mean, it was almost simultaneously. I wonder if Maxx even knew that he was rolling to the Ravens on a semi-reset because they're getting rid of their all-pro center, and they're getting probably the successor tight end likely out of the building before Maxx even shows up. You know what I mean? So it's like, wait, I thought I was going to a contender, but you just got rid of freaking Lamar's freaking all-pro center.
I mean, even if you look right now, their losses to additions is like hugely different. I think they've.
Oh, they need to kill the draft. I mean, they have to.
But they are the huge team on comps, so they're like letting do. I mean, who knows, dude? I don't know. Whatever.
So that brings me to the bad shit. I got no problems with Maxx being a Raven still. None. Here's what I have a problem with. What I have a problem with is when professionals make agreements that force
gentleman's handshake, whatever you want to do.
That force other chains of reaction. When you don't agree, when you agree and then you go, oh, when it's about to happen in the middle of free agency, by the way. What I don't agree with is someone reneging on the deal. That I don't agree with at all. You've made that agreement between two GMs, two head coaches. You've made that agreement.
And like I said in our text, Nav, this was no secret. There was no secret about this. Every effing team knew he had a cleanup done on his knee, right? So this was some.
And the cleanup, if they went to do a cleanup, they said it was a cleanup, then it was a torn meniscus.
Okay, so they fixed his meniscus, right?
Well, but that went from 4 weeks to 4 months.
And there's plenty of time.
And right, but that's the reason the Raiders said it. Because he was told, dude, you're not going to be worth the damn or even be able to play at the beginning of the season next year.
This was some Bush League buyer's remorse from the Ravens.
I completely agree with you. But it could have happened either way. Maxx gets there. He's with his family.
Right, yep.
And the Ravens are talking to freaking Hendrickson on the freaking phone as he's there.
In the building.
And off he goes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you what. These Ravens, what they've done is absolutely killed their reputation throughout the NFL with GMs. When you have Tom Brady as a minority owner, and he's just freaking screaming from the rooftops. I'm sure he's screaming from the rooftops. Nobody can trust this freaking dude, DaCosta. Nobody.
And the thing is, it's crazy. He was known to being a really good GM, and now he does this, and it's like, I don't know, dude. You're burning bridges with potentially with the Raiders and maybe some other teams now.
Let's not discount. Let's not discount this though. Maxx gets there, realizes Likely's gone, Linderbaum's gone. Maybe Maxx said, "Dude, really? You didn't tell me that was going to happen."
Right. Yeah.
And he just goes, "Fail me on the physical because I'm not doing it." Or he called Spytech and said, "Hey, dude, I'm on my way home. It ain't happening."
Did you hear that goofy stuff where they like tried to have him touch his toes?
I mean, how can he?
I'm like, they're like, he couldn't touch his toes. Like, what? Who cares?
I don't know where that came from, but I did see that. I'm like,
I'm healthy and I can't touch my toes.
Dude, I gotta like stretch a minute to get down. I'm like, all right, there we go.
Yeah, and
But
you don't
no.
have a meniscus.
I am healthy and I cannot touch my toes. I have never been able to touch my toes.
Right.
That's a flexibility. My wife gets on me. She's like, you need to be more flexible. Like that's an issue.
Well, that's a whole.
Well,
nother-
that I was gonna say that's
Well, look,
that's-
if you
that's
want
a different show, my man.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
different show.
it's not that show, but she is like always about like you need to stay flexing, like stretching, and it's good for the body, you know, because us men we're just like get up stiff, F it, and just go up, throw about our day. But no, that was BS. I saw that report, and the guy that leaked that or whatever who did the original Richie, I'll touch your toes. The guy that leaked that actually is supposedly he's pretty legit. So somebody in the building was like, they complained he couldn't touch his toes. And I was like, that's laughable in my opinion.
Well, here I'm gonna throw this as another good thing. First, it's kind of questionable what's remaining in the cap. Spotrac has it put out there at 50.9 million remaining. Exactly. Yeah. Spotrac has the Raiders remaining cap at 50.9 over the cap, which is you guys are aware of over the cap, right?
That's, OTC. Yeah. That's who I've been using lately.
But they drilled down into also they don't account for the cuts that are going to happen either. So Spotrac kind of tries to analyze who's not going to be a Raider and where that money comes from. Too.
Yeah, two different philosophies on cap.
Yeah, two different philosophies. So it's anywhere between 50.9 to about 38-ish. So the good thing that SpyTech, I honestly think SpyTech's he knows what he's doing, right? I mean, he learned from Roseman, man. Roseman, you got to admit, GM-wise,
he's one of the top. He's in the top 3.
Yeah, John Lynch is another one that just makes good decisions, you know. But it's he kind of knew. He's like, look, you don't go buy a new house before your old house is sold. You know, he had to know that you needed to have that 50 range because you still got to pay your rookies. When you draft there. So when you pay your rookie, let's just say nothing changes. So if it's that 50.9 number, so you have that's after Max still being back, right?
Now, what's the amount of picks you guys have right now for this year?
Well, it just went back to 11.
So 11. I doubt you guys are drafting 11. I think you're most likely probably going 9. You're probably going to move up and grab better guys.
I think so.
So that means that you got to pay them. So that's anywhere from Mendoza is going to cost a lot. So you're probably going to want to go into the draft with at least $20 to $25 million.
20 million's the pretty much the number because
and then you want money for in-season acquisitions or just to play around with.
Exactly. But the other part is that we're not accounting for that. So like I said, that 50 mil is Spotrac accounting for a lot of the like 1-year guys that haven't been released yet, shit like that. So
what is that? We're waiting for June 1st or whatever.
What's that? Yeah, June 1st that has to happen. So I've seen on a lot of channels, and granted, I got home a little bit late from work, so I'm not actually really prepared for this, but I did look into what happens when you're over the salary cap. Because there's a lot of people saying salary cap's not a thing.
Right.
Oh no, it's a thing. In 2023, the Texans got fined $175,000. Not a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
For being over the salary cap and then staying over the salary cap June 1st. They got a 3rd round pick taken from them.
Yeah, I remember that. So
that's a heavy penalty.
Dude, 3rd round's a massive pick.
Yes. Got screwed up. No, wait. No.
So teams are to get cap to get cap, because these owners, some owners, the money thing, they're like, I don't care, like whatever. It's chump change to me.
Basketball, it's a luxury tax. You don't lose draft picks.
But
in the NFL, you do.
But to lose cap, I mean, not to lose cap, but to lose draft picks, that's huge. That's
I'm pretty sure the front office of the Raiders, when Maxx came back in the building, they went, how about this? Let's restructure you. Let's do this year at a lower number, but fully guaranteed. And then we'll push you out another 3 with 4 guaranteed money. And that'll bring the cap down a little bit. And we'll see what happens. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I always said, you guys, you can roll back videos on this show. I said Maxx Crosby is not worth 2 first-round picks after that knee injury. He's more worth money in the middle of the season when the Raiders are rebuilding, and say the Rams go, all I need is a pass rusher. It's all I need is an edge rusher.
I was actually saying that, and I was kind of piggybacking off of what you said. I think you said that last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. I mean, look, there's a very good possibility that the Raiders could have a really decent season this year. They very well could with who you guys have brought in and who you're about to bring in, and you've got some really good coaching staff. We'll see. That being said, like, look, if the writing's on the wall come mid-season and they're like, okay, this isn't going so hot, and Maxx Crosby's knees ready to rock and roll, because that's probably around the time it's going to be ready to rock and roll, then that's where you recoup some draft capital and and send him on his way and say, hey man, thanks a lot, you're a Raider, you are the embodiment of a Raider, and we love you, and see you later, dude, and we wish you luck. And he goes to the damn Rams or something and competes for a Super Bowl.
So to round this out right quick, and then I'll take any questions you guys want to ask, and I may or may not have the answer to them. But here's my I'm going to use my F-bomb right now. Here is my go fuck yourself to the Ravens. You do not get rid of your all-pro center and a tight end that's probably going to be a Pro Bowler when the freaking old-ass dude freaking finally...
Isaiah Likely? Yeah.
Andrews, right? You do not do that and then bring him into the building and then have the conversation with another pass rusher and then try to tell me you're trying to bring them both when you don't have the money to do it.
Dude,
then hold on. Yeah. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
If it was all about the doctors, Ravens, fly your doctors to the freaking to Allegiant Stadium and have them take him out to a hospital in Allegiant Stadium where nobody even knows that the trade's happening. Do that. Instead of bringing him into your building and then telling him, no, we changed our mind. That's what I'm talking about. That's the bullshit that I'm talking about. You could have sent your doctors out there. You could have sent anybody out there. You didn't have to do that because you dropped his value. You personally dropped the value for him on draft picks because of what you did. So now, here's the thing. I bet Maxx is like, now I'm freaking pissed. And you know what? That shield, I'm going to wear that harder than I ever wore it. And God bless anybody that steps in front of him at this point. That's what I'm saying. That's the good part.
He's going to hit rehab pretty hard. I mean, I heard he was already back in the building, rehabbing.
Immediately. First one in the building. It was reported. First one in the building yet again.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's no secret. The guy's wanted to stay a Raider. It's not his fault that, and I'll say that Mark Davis is a dipshit. You know what I mean? Like, he's had to run through all these different coachings. It is what it is. So I bet you he's willing to play ball money wise. You know what I mean? He's made enough money. He's probably going to play ball.
He's not worried about that.
Yeah, he wants to stay, and
his big thing was I want to win.
Look, it's not just the Raiders. Every other effing team sees what the Raiders are doing. They're like, wow. So they got adults in the building.
So what tells me that the Raiders are highly pissed off at the Ravens. Their response was the Ravens backed out of the trade.
Oh,
no further comment.
Yeah, that post, and then everybody
started. That tells me that Spytek's like, dude, I'm never going to deal with you again, ever, no matter what you.
I made a spoof one of those, like saying something about our GM, like, "Hey, we've backed out of the hiring of Joe Ortiz." No further comment. I'm like, get this asshole out of LA. But going to the Ravens. Dude, they've been bitching and complaining about getting Lamar weapons, right? Because they have Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Andrews. They had Likely.
Derrick Henry, what, 32, 33 years old?
Right. And then they keep taking things away from him, right? And now they're going to be still bitching again. I don't know what their draft capital is, so they.
Who's their number one receiver right now? Zay Flowers?
Yeah, Zay.
I mean, come on, bro.
He's a high end two. He's like a borderline one. But I'm just saying,
he is a Cortland Sutton.
Bingo.
He is a Cortland Sutton.
There you go.
But he's not a T. Higgins.
No,
he's not that high.
No, he's like the highest end two. Could be a one. Like he could be a one anywhere else. Essentially.
And then you think about that. Then what did the Bengals do? They made themselves worse.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I know they've added some defense. They need to get their defense going. But I'm just saying, like,
that AFC North is going to be a shit show.
I like what the Steelers did. I just don't know who their quarterback's going to be.
Right. Either Rodgers isn't going to do that.
I like that they have DK and Michael Pittman there. That's a pretty good duo.
That's pretty good. But damn.
When the Steelers let go of Tomlin, Rodgers will not go back there now. The only reason why Rodgers went to the Steelers in the first place is because he had mad respect for Tomlin. Like it was just like I will play for you. For sure. It's because it's him, not because of the franchise, not because of the GM, not because of the owner, because of Tomlin.
And I thought like, oh, there's a chance that he can go to the Colts, but then the Colts are like just worked out that deal with Daniels or not Daniels, whatever his name.
Daniel
is.
Jones.
Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones. So where
and
he
they
goes,
also, and get this, they also said maybe if Daniel Jones isn't ready, maybe this is an opportunity for Anthony Richardson to actually get a little bit of play time.
I think they released him.
Did they? They didn't release Richardson. AR.
Yeah.
Did they really? To who?
They just let him go. They just let him go. I don't think anybody's gonna pick him up. Whoever picks him up, it's probably gonna be like, look, dude, you're not a quarterback. You're gonna play something else. You're gonna be like a weapon.
You're Taysom Hill.
You are. That's exactly it. You're the Taysom Hill of the NFL.
Get him to Sean Payton. Have Sean Payton work with him. Denver, Richie, that would be a hell of a pickup, I think, if the Broncos were like, all right, let's see what we can do with this kid. And because that he's a freak athlete,
He's tight inside too. Actually, I mean, I get you. The thing about it is with the Raiders, overall, I'm happy about everything that the front office has done.
You should be thrilled, man.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with it because look, I don't think anybody in the building's thinking Super Bowl. Now, I'm looking at it though, and I'm starting to piece things together. I'm like, okay, Linderbaum, that right there just shut the JPJ discussion up. Yeah. He's a guard now. It's that simple until Linderbaum proves it wrong, right?
So that surprised me, to be honest with you guys. Like I was like, he was drafted as a center, but they obviously were like, you're a better guard, dude.
He pulls like a freaking maniac.
He does.
The dude goes out there and smashes everyone. But if I could send a message to JPJ right now, I said, you need to do everything you can to protect your head. Do everything you can. Guardian cap, whatever. I don't care if it looks stupid or not. Whatever, dude. Put a balloon on your head. I don't
Did you guys see there's a team with the new Guardian caps? Did you see what they look like?
Yeah.
They look a hell of a lot better than those mushroom cap things that people are wearing.
Yeah, I think I saw something where they realized if you fill those, instead of just blowing them up with just like compressed air, if you blow them up with nitrogen, they're actually more effective.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Look, dude, JPJ and Linderbaum are going to be best friends. These two freaking Molly Hog dudes are going to be in the locker room talking about wrestling and probably become best friends.
And mad at whoever's on that defense. They're going to be mad at the defense,
dude.
Just mad.
This is not good for Richie's, mine, and our future Chiefs host.
It's just not. And Colton's going to be healthy on the left tackle.
I don't know why people don't talk about Colton Miller that much. That guy is he is a damn good left tackle.
The last couple of years, he's had some injuries that were kind of like, wait, what? I mean, where'd that come from? He just kind of.
Look. You got him, Richie. Good job. We got a Chiefs guy.
Yeah.
There we go.
They are a bunch of bitches. I completely agree with you. I don't agree with Chiefs fans very often, but I agree with you completely. You do not do that in the middle of free agency period. You do not do that to another team. If you say, I got it, and that's what you offer, regardless of what your doctors say, you just don't renege on it. You just don't. This dude.
Do you know what? I have a theory, and it's not going to excuse the GM's actions.
Well, I
have a theory.
Conspiracy theories, but we'll leave that at that.
I think the owner of the Ravens stepped in.
He's a very good owner, though.
Biscotti or whatever.
No, but did you hear him in his interviews in the offseason?
Yeah.
He kind of started to kind of do the, do you know who I am thing this past offseason after the Super Bowl. He kind of did the, trying to pull that kind of card this offseason, right?
Yep.
And so part of me wonders if he kind of pulled one of those with the GM. It's like, you just went ahead and tried to spend $30 million of my money for a dude that might not start the season. No.
Right. The thing is, he was at Cabo and got back and realized freaking DaCosta brought this dude in the building. And he goes, why would you do that when we have this dude over here we don't have to give any picks for that's an edge rusher as well? But as an owner, he doesn't know that Max is not just an edge rusher. He's a defensive end. The dude stops the run. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the best in the business at that position.
Correct. And that's what I'm saying is that the owner I think is one of those dudes that every once in a while wants to have a measuring contest with all the other folks in the building and just basically say, do you know who I am?
What kind of measuring contest?
Yeah, what is that? What is that?
Well,
it's a Richard. It's a Richard.
Is it something like down south? That down south measurement?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I think the dude is very much egotistical when it comes to that sort of stuff. If you actually saw his interviews, let's just put it this way. He does not seem like the type of guy that's willing to have even an honest conversation about the nuances of football. That dude had an ego that barely made it through the doorway.
Right.
And you know what? Good on him. He owns the freaking Baltimore Ravens. So congratulations. I'm not even saying I'm saying you do you, dude. But the thing is that the product on the field has not been great the last couple seasons.
Nope.
And you're the owner of that too.
They brought in a dumbass defensive coordinator, that Orr guy, whatever. He ruined their defense.
Yep.
Jesse's gonna turn that defense around. Even with or without Max, that defense is gonna be a force next year. But that offense,
they already have on paper one of the better defenses.
it would have been even way better with Maxx, but obviously,
But their secondary got challenged constantly because they couldn't get to the quarterback. But I will tell you this: here's where the bullshit exists. There is no way the Ravens intended to bring Maxx Crosby and Hendrickson into the building at the same time during that free agency period. There is no
smoke, dude.
way.
They're gaslighting us.
There is no way. They weren't going to be able to do it.
They think we're retards, man. Sorry, I said the R word. They think we're stupid.
I looked at it and said, so you have 30 above the cap. You're giving 30 to Maxx. How you bringing Trey in at the same time? Then what do you have to remove? And you already removed Linderbaum.
No, you know I think the issue is the owner was trying to, again, think that he's, the smartest fake mafia boss that exists. And he was literally trying to play that card. Be like, what do you mean? Blah, blah, blah. I'll put this out there. And it's like, dude, that's not even a believable alternative storyline. Like you're trying to make something up that's not even within the realm of possibility. And yeah, I think that the owner of the Ravens is probably the root cause of everything that happened with the Maxx no trade.
Look.
And look at what the GM said. He's like, I was really excited to have Maxx in the building and blah 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 and blah blah blah. blah. And he's like, and well, yeah, it didn't work out.
I mean, I think Richie, you could look at the root cause for all teams as their ownership. My team, my owner, they're cheap. They've been cheap. They've always been cheap since they've been in San Diego. And what has that got them? Nothing. So.
Hey, I'm going to end my Raiders rant with something I typically don't do. I'm going to quote a dude named Wasted Talent, who I love watching this dude. He hardly ever curses and stuff, but it's effing and stuff like that, but never hardly ever an F-bomb. He just says effing bums. And in fact, I've actually adopted effing bums a lot when I talk about people that aren't doing what they should be doing as a human being. Effing bums. The Ravens are effing bums. And I'll end it with that. My side of it.
I'll say this. I will never say that in the city of Baltimore, but I agree with you.
That is a bunch of crap. Is what that is.
That city scares the shit out of me.
And now the owner is going to have to deal with the fallout of the decisions that have taken place, and then have a GM constantly telling him, you've screwed us.
Dude, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And then he's going to say, we're not screwed until we're actually screwed. And so it's going to this is the sad part for the Ravens, right? It'll take the Ravens 2 seasons for someone like that owner to kind of finally realize that's unfortunate.
Hey, I have an example. David Tepper in Carolina. He's finally realized, hey, look, I'm just going to let the head coach and the GM figure this shit out. And oh, by the way, they're starting to win.
Dude, they've made some really good moves too.
And they made some hella moves.
Yeah.
Devin Lloyd. I mean,
dude, watch out for the freaking Panthers.
And Nav,
the Panthers are going to be a problem in the South.
Nav, on the bright side, he also really did prove to the CEO of Starbucks that those plastic cups are pretty durable.
Right. The thing about it is, I think overall, all this debacle, after I got to sleep on it a little bit, I'm like, you know what? Everything that was done, as long as we get everybody signed, that's the key. We got to get everybody signed. Not all the signings have happened yet, and you get that. It's legalese and all this other bull crap that happens. We get Linderbaum signed, we get the rest of them signed, and all that crap. I'm good to go, right? But the thing about it is, overall, the front office did what they were supposed to do. They killed it.
Yeah.
They needs everywhere. Look, Teron Johnson's going to be a big deal because
you brought in positions. You brought in like key positions. Like
we needed a free safety for the last 5 years. A dude that has a no kidding free safety. We've needed a nickel. We've needed a dude like that. You know, so and stole him. Absolutely stole that dude. So I think we in free agency I think we literally got 8 starters, including Malcolm Kuntz as a re-sign, as an outside linebacker. So I'm not disappointed with the Raiders at all. And I think Max is coming back into the freaking building going, all right, screw this. It's on now. I don't think I think he's probably already walked into the front office at Spytech. I don't want to get traded for anything at this point. Now I got another thing to prove. Because I brought my whole family out there to get rejected on something we thought we were going to make a move. You probably already said, damn, I'm going to have to sell my house in Vegas.
Dude, was today like was today slower in free agency than the last 2 days?
What's that?
Like nothing happened today.
No, nothing. Hardly
today
anything.
It kicked off stuff. It kicked off at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
Nothing is. The Broncos signed Lucas Krull.
Oh, well,
right. That's huge, huge.
But I'm just saying, like the last 2 days, it was popping, and now today it's just like, meh. Like
now, Teron Johnson was signed today. Or that free safety I was just talking about. He was signed today. He was signed to the offer that was made to him. So, but I mean, I look at all the like new stuff coming in. I mean, Quay and Nakobe Dean, that's big. That's huge being in a 3-4. That's huge having those two dudes. And oh, by the way, guess what? They play on a national championship team together. So they know how each other play. They both come from Georgia, I believe. Yeah, they're both Georgia guys. And won a national championship together. I do believe that. Georgia or Alabama? No, Georgia. So these dudes have played in the linebacker room together for a national championship. It's not going to be a problem for them guys to communicate with one another. So, I mean, to me, that's a pairing. You get Devin Lloyd, and it's just him. You know, there's not a gel there. There's no gelling process between an outside linebacker and a middle linebacker that have been in the same positions, even in college. It's not a gelling moment. They already know what the hell they're doing. Right? So I'm good. I'm happy with it. We're not going to a Super Bowl next year. Raider Nation. Football already screamed the Raiders. I'm only allowed to do it once on here. Unless Richie says it's okay, I can do it one more time.
Dude, let's just do that one and done thing. That sounds
one and done. Yep.
One and done. Oh, fucking eardrums, man. Jesus.
Yeah, Parham went to the Jets too. Hey, he must be a Geno lover.
Yeah, who went to someone said Bradley Chubb. Where did he go? Did he go?
Bills.
Oh, he went to the Bills?
Yeah, the Bills.
Yeah. Dude, it's so bad, especially with my fan base right now. Like, we're scratching and crawling and looking at all these cast-offs. Like, like we're like speakers looking for a fix, man. And
what the Bills do anything? Didn't they do something on their defense? I'm trying to think that they upgraded their defense somehow.
I don't know about the defense. I low-key like that they got DJ Moore. I thought that was awesome.
Oh, DJ Moore's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
He wanted out of Chicago, and he's going to do really well in Buffalo.
Yep.
On defense, I think it's just Bradley Chubb. Yep. I don't know. I think they got a D tackle as well. He didn't mute it while he pisses outside. Dude, when in Rome. When in Rome. Is everybody enjoying the ambiance? Oh, it's over.
So the AFC South's going to be a thing, right? What happened?
How's the pee?
Oh, no. I was tearing up boxes. My wife just threw boxes in the door.
Okay.
What? I pee outside. You won't hear me doing that. Look, I'm in Tennessee, but I don't pee inside.
Okay.
Yeah, unless it's in the toilet.
So Rich in DC, was you more worried about the 2 first rounds? Or that's a good question, Firpo. To be honest with you, more worried about the 2 first round picks. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not worried about Maxx, because Maxx is going to make any D-line a lot better. But you guys are a young building team, and those 2 first round picks, that's massive. So kind of happy. Yeah, kind of happy that 2 of those got taken away. But look, we never know what's going on. There's still a long ways from today till training camp. So you don't know what's going to happen.
Your first round pick will be very dependent on your offensive line and how it manages the new scheme. So if your offensive line manages the new offensive scheme that's being put in place, especially when you play both mine and DZ's teams respectfully, that will be telling. So if your offensive line adapts accordingly, is able to maintain their assignments, maintain the gaps, all that sort of stuff, then I would be certainly more concerned with your first 2 round picks. I think Crosby, on the other hand, if those picks don't work out and your offensive line does not transition well to the new scheme, particularly, then Crosby would be the concern there for me, because I think he, while he may not be 100% to start the season, he is a generational player. He is someone that can literally be put into most defensive schemes and pretty much be the best player on the line.
There's just certain players that could just play anywhere. That's what I was going to say. I forgot to tell you, Richie, there was you know how like the big like PFF and Sleeper, they put out their mock drafts, right? Like, oh, here's my updated who I think. So I think it was like yesterday, the updated mock for the Broncos, which stood out, is having you guys grab Jacob Rodriguez. I think that's Rodriguez. And I was like, what? Because you just re-signed Stranad and Singleton, but you did let Dre Greenlaw walk. So I'm like, damn, dude, that would be one hell of a get to get him in Denver. That would be.
I'll pass.
And I mean, yeah, because it's not a need; it's a luxury pick. It's like the Jade Barron thing, right? All over again.
That's why you can't do realistic. You can't do realistic mock drafts until about the 15th of March or something like that.
No. That's not my. That's not the reason for my comment.
He wants.
No, but you know what I'm saying. You just can't.
My thing right now is we have a rookie quarterback. He's on his rookie deal, and we have mediocre offensive weapons. We got a running back that doesn't run inside the tackles.
Right.
We have a running back room.
That's Harvey, right?
Yeah, exactly. We have a running back room that doesn't have like a hammer that can run between the tackles and does it well.
Right.
We don't have a game-changing tight end that can both pass pro as well as pass catch.
Right.
We don't have a wide receiver that is a true separator at the position. And for the crowd that's here, what I mean by that is like your traditional wide receiver like we used to have with Demaryius Thomas. DT, when he was with our team, was 6'3" and like 220, and he
No.
would actually run head to head with the DB and literally be faster
Yeah.
than the cornerback
Right.
and separate with the ball like
Wait.
that.
There's definitely some speed
Bayou-
this year. This draft.
Hey, Bayou just said something. Y'all got Dobbs, right?
He's
Dobbs?
talking. I think he's talking about J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, J.K. Dobbins. Okay.
Yeah, but Dobbins played.
He needs to be a closer.
I
And
want to
like you said
say
earlier.
Dobbins played 10 games last year and was hurt for the rest.
Yeah.
You want that guy. Look, I've said it before. Bayou, I'll say it again just for you because I don't know if you were here earlier in the show. J.K. Dobbins for me is the best closing running back game that you want on your team. He's the guy that you want. He's the guy you want to bring in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes or 6 minutes left in the game, and you want that guy closing the game for you at the running back spot
because he'll break one off.
He'll break a run off and get a touchdown and just like end the game like that.
Yeah.
And
Somebody
that's
put. You think the Broncos are shot at Love running back? Absolutely not, unless they trade up. No way.
No. And Lee, I'm going to answer this a little bit more completely than what DZ just did. The long and the short of it is that there's not enough quarterbacks in this year's draft.
Oh, tell me about it.
To fill out that upper block that you would typically see teams go quarterback. And so what you're going to end up seeing is those really deep position groups. And by the way, I don't need to guess. I've already seen what GMs and owners do in the draft in the first round when there's a deep position group. We saw it last year, we saw it the year before, and we saw it the year before that. When you have a deep position group, those positions tend to go earlier in the draft because every team wants to make sure they get the guy that fits their team. And that was exactly it. CJ is one of my favorite running backs that's ever been a Bronco, period. I follow him on X and I message him every so often. So, anyways,
there's some drama. There's some drama going on in StreamYard right now.
Yeah.
What is happening, dude?
Yeah. So, anyways, with regards to the comment, I still maintain the 2 picks are my biggest concern, and JK, I will maintain, is a closer. He's not the guy you want to be your main guy.
I could see Stowers. I think Sadiq's probably, or maybe Sadiq's still there. But I see. I could see the tight end, Richie, for you guys. I know that's a want for you. Maybe I could see that. Him falling. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of Jacob Rodriguez. I know you're probably not a fan, but it's on par with what the Broncos have done. Remember, they didn't need Jahdae Barron last year, and then they said, "No, just kidding. We're going to make."
The question now, though, is so there's 2 main players to tie into our show last week for the Broncos. One of them is Riley Moss, and then the other one is Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham is a starting caliber quarterback. Yes, in like a tier or 2 below that upper group, but he is a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL nonetheless. Right. Worth $8 million this year on his current contract.
Right.
That is almost criminal.
Right.
Based on the amount that these idiots are getting paid that are not even close.
Dude, we have Trey Lance as a free agent too. He's probably looking to. I doubt it. But.
Yeah. Hey, and so the point here is just on that note is Jarrett Stidham is not going to be a long-term answer for my Denver Broncos. We're going to want to find like an Ellinger or someone like that, that's like that staple, like competent backup, but that we don't need to pay a ton of money to, we're going to want to try and find that guy. Stidham has already said he wants to try to start again at the NFL level. So he'd be a great trade piece for my Denver Broncos. Secondly, I don't believe my team has the draft capital, or so the cap room rather, to spend on a Riley Moss. We're going to need to see where the Jahdae Barron experiment lands us. And we're going to need to find a way of gaining something for Riley Moss.
Big E's getting into the weeds here, dude. Well, that's going to be in a little while.
Yeah.
About second and third round.
So hey,
Yeah.
The draft stuff, I'm not even like in that realm yet, because hell, with what happened with Maxx right now, we haven't signed freaking Linderbaum yet.
Dom, what the hell did the Chargers do that you said you liked?
You know what I mean? We haven't signed Linderbaum yet.
Yeah.
Now, Teron Johnson, he's signed, but damn.
I think they're like, the teams are like slow rolling the signings. They're getting everybody, like Linderbaum's probably, I don't know, but he's probably at home still or whatever. And they're like, hey, we're going to have you fly in on this day. And
yeah, sure.
We're going to do a big old thing for you. You know what I mean?
But until it actually happens, after the thing that happened with Maxx, which is unprecedented, to be honest with you, that level of player with two first round draft picks on the line, that's a NFL game changer. So my thing about this might have Goodell's freaking attention, saying, hey, look, this whole tampering period, it isn't about you can change your freaking mind when you make these agreements. So I could see Goodell going, hey, if you're going to make these kind of trades, it needs to be on paper. And then you can make it happen after the fact.
Nav, I guarantee you Goodell doesn't give a flying F.
Oh, I bet he does, bro.
No, Goodell only cares about is this making money.
The aftermath,
pouring out the league to the world.
The aftermath of all this is going to be a problem for him.
Well, he's going to hear the owners bitching and complaining, and he's going to be like, okay, I got to do something about it.
Right. That's what's going to happen, because nobody's going to want to trade with the Ravens in any way, shape, or fashion with a thought process of moving forward after the trade, because they are known. Look, DZ, you even said it. It ain't the first time they've done this crap.
No, I think it was 18 was last time, and then they did it in like 94 or 98. I think it was 98. So they're known to like last minute, like just kidding, and as an organization.
Right.
Now,
and so what that comes down to, but not to this level. I mean, Maxx Crosby is a must-watch type of player. People watch Raiders games just to see what Maxx is going to do.
Right.
Especially fantasy and all this other shit. They just want to see how many sacks this dude. You know, and with legal betting, right? You know, people are betting on how many sacks the dude will get. So they watch games because of that.
Right. Fantasy's got more betting, and fantasy has put more eyes on the league. It's a double-edged sword. It's been great, and it's bad at the same time.
So we need to start winding down. I will answer this question, and then let's kind of start tapering off and we'll end the show. Real quick, my Broncos draft. I think number one should be.
Where are you at first? Where's your draft pick at?
27? 28 or 29?
I think it's 25, actually, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm 20. We're 22. So
yeah,
after
be
30th overall.
Oh, 30th overall.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking Stowers or Jacob Rodriguez. They're probably going to be there. Those guys are top end, second round guys that are potentially coming in the
Right.
first round.
Right. But if he's talking about having weapons, like
Richie does not get what he wants. It's
but-
been proven. This
but
team does everything
Look,
anti-Richie.
Nav, here's the problem. If the team did what I wanted us to do, we would have already been Super Bowl contenders like 5 or 6 years ago.
well, it just means that we should have changed our career paths.
Yes, but look, I'm in the tech space. I'm one of the rare Canadians that's pretty heavy into the tech space. I'm very analytical. I only care about numbers. I really don't give a crap about feelings or, oh my gosh, that person's awesome.
Right.
I was the earliest person on the get Justin Simmons out of my front yard kind of guy. Like I hated Justin Simmons. I thought he was a selfish player. Everyone else in Broncos country was like, you're an idiot. And then he was cut and then no one picked him up. And I'm like, doesn't that tell you something? And then all of a sudden, finally, all the Broncos countries come around and be like, you might have been right. It's like, yeah. But to DZ's point, like, I have a plan and it revolves around the trenches. And then once you kill the trenches, you can get away with mediocre talent behind because the trenches are so good that they don't allow the opposing teams to be able to pick you apart. And then
I agree.
and then you
need weapons on the outside.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been seeing you need an elite X, you need an elite or a top end X, and you need trenches, and then a solid running back.
Yes.
And that will get you far. But Biggie, that Vanderbilt guy is not making it out of the second round, dude. He's like high end. He is a high end second round pick.
Who are you talking about?
So
he's Stowers.
Styles? No, Styles is going in the first.
Well, he said get him in the third round, and I'm like, that's not happening, man.
No, little brother might be available in the second round. The corner. Styles.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that linebacker, the Ohio State guy. That guy is a stud.
That guy's
dude.
a first round.
Ooh.
Yeah, no question.
Who's getting him? Jesus Christ.
So
I watched it. I watched that at the combine. The whole place erupted.
God, man, whoever's getting him is getting like old school badass linebacker, dude.
Yeah. So Jar's comment down below. Number one, I want an interior rushing D tackle. We need someone to be a cost-controlled staple in the interior of our defensive line that can get to the passer, stop the run, and just be kind of that guy. Now, we're picking a little late in the draft to normally get a guy that kind of would fit that mold. However, the Broncos might be able to get away with it because so many teams in this year's draft need all of the positions across the offensive line, including tackles and other stuff, that it might push some of the D tackles further down this year as a result. And that's just something to be mindful of. Another
guy got signed in our division, out of our division.
Yeah. Number two is we desperately need a running back. We need a legit running back like Washington. So I don't disagree with Big E. A guy like Washington is the exact style of running back that we actually need on our team. We need the combination of size and height. So he's tall enough to catch the ball at high point, big enough to run through the tackles, and fast enough to get breakaway speed to get those home run hits. Basically a J.K. Dobbins, but one that doesn't get hurt all the time. Right? You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah. And this and Mike Washington, I watched that run.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah Love ran over to him and said, Joe, that is freaking. I mean, Jeremiah Love ran over to this dude and hugged him at the combine and said, wow, bro.
And then number three, this is an unpopular opinion, or a popular opinion for me, unpopular in Denver, which means it's never happening. But The Denver Broncos desperately need a true mauler at the center position. It is one of the most critical positions on the offensive line. You need a guy that's quick cerebrally, and you need a guy that is physically aggressive if you want to be a run-first team. The Denver
Yes.
Broncos have a significant advantage. We play in Mile High Stadium, 5280. There's a reason why that's the name of one of our staple podcasts here at the
Yep.
MHRT Network.
Yep.
You are at elevation. So what you want to be able to do is run the football down your opponent's throats, and you don't even have to take my word for it that that's the way to win. My Denver Broncos in the John Elway era, which
I can
Nav, I'm
tell ya.
sure which you can tell me exactly what that was like, is that's how you win football games.
Terrell Davis won so many football games with John Elway. So
Yeah.
many football games because the defense was just gassed by the third quarter. It was just they just couldn't handle
Yeah.
it anymore.
Low key.
And so those would be my three kind of like rough ordered guys in the first round at pick 30. However, if there's none of those types of dudes there that are like those elite players at any of those positions, I wouldn't be really upset or angry if we traded back into the top of the second.
dude, that's my MO. I want to trade back. Like we
Well-
have so many needs in the trenches that I'm like, just trade back. But you need two to tango, right? You need another team.
Well,
And this draft doesn't have it where guys want to trade up for it because
Right.
of the lack of quarterbacks. So you're going to probably stick and pick, essentially. Maybe people will move around in the later rounds to get their guys.
There's
Yeah.
a couple flyer. So I disagree with you there.
Well, if Sadiq is there, okay?
No,
sure.
no. It's not even that. There is
Ione,
one or two quarterbacks that are like second round dudes.
the guy. Okay, I know what you're gonna say, but they're who's that second quarterback? Ty Simpson. Is that him?
yeah, but he's second, well beyond.
I've been hearing
no.
a lot about him. Like that poor guy, if he was a little taller, could very well be like second pick of the draft.
I
It
heard
could
another
be.
guy. I just can't remember his name.
He just doesn't
That-
have the reps though. He's another dude who doesn't have quite enough reps and quite enough like big wins
Sure,
attached to him.
but here's
That's
the
what it
deal.
comes down to.
You trade up for maybe a second round pick and maybe a fourth to get a quarterback that you desperately need. And if they work out, you have a 5th-year option.
Right.
That's a win that most teams would take almost all day long if they're in that
Right.
position, because it's a risk worth taking for your team to potentially
Right.
excel. And so
Right.
I could see stuff like that happening, like the Broncos and in that kind of like lower section of the first. I mean, look at what the Ravens did. The Ravens saw Lamar Jackson slide all the way down to pick 30. I think it was 31, wasn't it?
Yep.
And they traded back into the very bottom of the first and picked Lamar Jackson. And look, you can love him or hate him. It doesn't really matter. The point is, he is their franchise quarterback for the time
Right.
being and everything. And the Ravens got that 5th-year option for making the moves they did.
Well.
So
No,
it is what
I
it
agree.
is.
I agree. My thing is this. The Raiders did exactly what they needed to do in this offseason so far. Exactly what they need to do. The rest comes from the draft. Look, I will tell Raider Nation this. Mendoza is there. Next year's a question. Mendoza will be the number one pick. There's not going to be a trade back on that.
No,
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's there's far too many tea leaves that are already
They
in
shouldn't
place.
even start the draft at 1. It should just start at 2. They should just be like,
Started at 2 because it's a done. It's all but a done deal. But I will tell you this: I will not be happy until I wake up tomorrow or at the end of the day tomorrow, and all these free agents that we got are signed, I won't be happy.
I think it's going to be a process. I think they're going to just like give him. Yeah.
I won't be happy until they're all signed because of what happened with Maxx. But I'll tell you, I will tell the Raider Nation this: with what happened to Maxx, bringing his entire family with him, bringing his wife, his dog, you know what I mean, into the building.
Yeah, it's pretty shady, man.
Nah, I guess we're not going to do that. That dude's pissed. And I'm going to tell you what, if he comes back to any form close to Maxx Crosby, he's going to be pissed off the rest of his career, and he's probably going to be a Raider his entire career.
And you said they don't play. So if Maxx is a Raider, say in 27, that's when the Raiders play the
Raiders.
Yeah, they play him in 27.
And that's going to be bad.
That's going to be good. I hope he's there. Just to watch that, that's going to be popcorn.
And how do the Ravens think they got better getting Trey Hendrickson and getting rid of their starting center? I mean, how do they think
I know you don't want to hear this. I know you don't want to hear this. Trey can still ball, right? Like,
he's a pass rusher. Pure pass rusher.
There are a lot of there's centers that they can probably get in the draft. Now, look, starting a rookie center is not ideal.
Risky.
Yeah, it's very risky because you need somebody who can ID stuff. So, and then Lamar, he's got that wiggle room where he can do some little magic, but he's getting older and up there. But I agree with you overall, Nav. Like, very bad look on the Ravens organization.
No. I mean, just from the Raiders' perspective, we did very well. We're not. Yeah. I don't think if anybody in the Raider Nation right now tells me we're going to the Super Bowl, and you say that, I'm going to delete you from my channel because that is not the plan at all. The plan is to get better and grow and get young, not old. Get young. Now, Maxx was part of that plan as far as that. But I'm pretty sure Spytek said there ain't no way this dude leaves without 2 first-rounders. And somebody offered it, went over there. Spytek's like, look, dude, he's coming off a meniscus tear. A completely torn meniscus, which is a lot of times a degrading thing for a lot of defensive ends. Strahan, JPP, just name them. It doesn't, their get off's not right. But going to a 3-4 with Maxx, just him and another edge guy, I mean, that changes things with 4 linebackers.
Yep.
I want to real quick because we don't have a Chiefs guy, but the Chiefs have been losing defensive guys. Nav touched on it earlier with the 2 cornerbacks. They also lost Leo Chenal, and then just an hour ago, Menahue to the Commanders. By the way, Commanders are absolutely killing it in free agency. They got Odafe from the Chargers.
Under the radar, Commanders are doing some shit.
They got Odafe from the Chargers. That's like that big deal. They got a Menahue, and they got Leo Chenal. Leo Chenal is a damn good linebacker. Mm-hmm. And then Menahue, they got him dirt cheap, and he can still ball. So,
and their defense is not terrible.
So look, Travis Kelce decides to run it back, right? Year 14, right? He's like, I heard him on Pat McAfee and all this. What are they going to do on defense? They are losing people left and right on defense.
I think that they are 100% sure Mahomes is not going to start the first game of the season.
So are they just gaslighting everybody or what?
I think they're just freaking like, we're going to count on the draft, get some capital, that type of stuff, count on the draft, and run it back. That whole thing with both of those, I mean, was it Watson and McDuffie both?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they did get some capital for one of them, but hey, did you see the Tennessee guy talking about he wants to know about John Franklin? Like, is he any good? Bryce, he's really good, dude.
He's legit good. He has got a motor. Yeah. He's good against the run, good against the pass. And more importantly, and this is actually a low-key trait that no one talks about with him. When you need him most, he will step up.
Right.
Dude, the Titans got some other good guys too, I think.
Wow.
Dude, the
So-
Titans killed it.
Titans, Commanders, just like
Yeah, they killed it.
oh, Panthers, Titans, Commanders, Panthers,
Yeah,
Raiders, throw them in there.
we need to do a NFL big losers in free agency
I'm gonna
'Cause I'll
raise
tell
my
you
hand
what.
for that one.
because I think the Ravens are one of them. Huge losers
Yeah.
in the offseason.
I'm on the fence because people are gonna be like, well, they did get Trey Hendrickson, so it's like, but then
Yeah,
on the
but that's
offense,
it.
I know
They
'cause
gave up.
they lost a ton on everybody else.
They
Yeah.
gave up more than they got, though. Is my thing. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if Max didn't walk in that building and go, wait, you traded the center? Oh, wait, you traded Likely? And maybe Max said, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
We're already
all things being said, I think that was we covered off everything in the show.
Pretty much.
hopefully have better stuff to talk about next week.
And I'm hoping there's going to be some other interesting topics we can get into next week. Maybe some trades, because I think that we're going to start seeing those sorts of things happen a little bit more now that people have a better idea of where their cap's at versus not. And then they're going to start looking at what we couldn't get done and then what draft capital we're willing to give up to get certain talents.
Gotcha.
So
That ain't happening.
anyways, overall, great show. Thank you all for joining. We've had a great chat. Anyone in the chat, leave a thumbs up on each of the videos in each of the channels. It helps us all a great amount getting other football and AFC West fans in the chat, just like you. And we will be back next week for another great show where we're going to be talking about all sorts of things AFC West related. And until next week, where the West Side is the best side. Peace.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute,